New law alert. New law, new law. This in my hand is the summary of the Rights for Safer Homes Act, okay? This is a 4-page document. It's double-sided, so it can be 2 or 4 pages. You have to attach this to every single residential lease in the state of Illinois starting January 1st, 2026. It's a long document. I'm going to try to summarize it for you as quickly as possible. So this law is to cover victims of domestic or sexual violence in their homes and outside of their homes. It also includes stalking. I'm going to read this verbatim. The Safe Homes Act provides that a tenant who is a victim of domestic or sexual violence and their families may be allowed to terminate a lease without being liable for any remaining rent, and that upon written notice of all tenants on a lease, a landlord or their agent is to change locks within 48 hours of a request that locks be changed. And if the landlord or their agent fails to change locks within 48 hours after receiving the written notice, the tenant may change the lock without permission from the landlord or their agent. That breezes over. Changing locks is a simple thing, but the big thing that you're obviously going to want to know about is that you can vacate your lease without any repercussions. This new law, it applies to private rental housing, no matter the size, subsidized housing, including housing choice, Section 8. The weird thing is public housing is not covered, which is strange. Now on the summary, you guys are all going to be seeing this starting next year. If you're not seeing it, there's an issue. To end your lease early, you must give written notice you are leaving to your landlord before or within 3 days of permanently leaving. For example, by removing all your belongings and turning over your keys to the landlord or property manager. Or have left your rental place because you're under an imminent threat of domestic violence or sexual violence there. You can also end your lease early by written notice and documentation because sexual violence occurred at the home within the last 60 days or later, if circumstances prevented you from telling the landlord sooner. There's also a $2,000 fine if you do use this act and move out of your house and you go to apply for a different apartment and your current landlord says that you used this to leave, then they can be fined $2,000 plus attorney fees automatically to the tenant. This video is getting so long. I'm going to have to do a part 2.